is in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test.
The boxing world has just been shaken by another major development. Jaron Ennis, the young and hungry talent many believe could become one of the future stars of boxing, has now called out a man widely regarded as one of the greatest fighters of his generation, Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Fight that everybody want to see. Yeah. And I want to do it.
Do you respect him as, like, when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so...
I understand it, but don't lie or kept to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said, they called, and we said, we've never heard nothing else back about it. So,
right.
I mean, I respect it, though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be capping on the net.
And this time, Bud had a much stronger response. He finally addressed the situation, and his next words completely changed the direction of the conversation. This is more than just another fighter calling someone out. This could become the matchup that defines the next generation of boxing. When a 26-year-old challenger steps toward a 38-year-old champion, one major question remains. Is Crawford still motivated enough to protect his place at the top?
But Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great.
During a recent interview on Showtime Sports Live, Jaron Ennis looked directly into the camera and made his position clear. He said he wants Bud, and he believes all the talking needs to stop so they can finally make the fight happen. This was not the first time Boots had mentioned Crawford, but this call-out felt different, made it after Crawford had already created history by defeating Canelo Alvarez and becoming the first fighter to become an undisputed champion across 3 weight divisions. The timing was significant because the boxing world was still celebrating Crawford's massive victory, and Boots used that moment to step forward and put himself directly into the spotlight.
I lean more towards Canelo. Because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down. And Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60, maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds. And he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's going to be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it.
Boots is not simply asking for a fight with the champion. He is challenging the legacy behind Terence Crawford. Ennis enters this moment with an undefeated 34-0 record and 30 victories by knockout, while dominating nearly every opponent placed in front of him. But there is still one major criticism surrounding his career. He has never faced someone on the level of Terence Crawford. And he understands that himself. That is exactly why this call-out felt so serious. It was not about trading insults or creating unnecessary drama. It was a direct challenge to the man sitting at the top of the sport.
I beat this guy. It's his excuse. I beat this guy. He's too young or whatever. So I'm never really going to give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. We really didn't realize it until now, when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, and the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, so I just think, when you that much better than the competition, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it and just be like, man, that dude was good.
Crawford was in Omaha taking part in his victory celebration when the Boots clip quickly spread across the internet. Fans flooded social media with messages demanding Bud versus Boots in 2027, with some calling it a battle between the old lion and the new lion. But when reporters finally asked Crawford what he thought, he simply smiled and took his time. Instead of giving an immediate answer, Crawford's next response completely changed the direction of the interview.
Consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight.
No, I ain't going down 154.
Crawford did not avoid the question, and he did not try to downplay the situation either, made his position clear, saying that he hears everyone mentioning his name now that he has made history. But he also questioned where those same people were when he was searching for the biggest fights of his career. Boots can continue asking for the matchup, Crawford suggested, but you do not reach the top simply by calling for a fight. You have to earn your way there.
Boots Ennis was in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test tells it all. You know, he's got the it, you know, but we haven't seen him against any elite fighter. We've never seen him tested. So until then, you know, we just going to keep saying, oh, Boots, 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 until he meet that fighter that's going to test him.
Is that a fight that you would be interested in?
Nah, it just don't make sense right now in my career. Like I said, like, especially money-wise, don't nobody really know Boots, but I'm looking for bigger and better challenges like Canelo.
You're just looking for the big ones.
Yeah.
The big fish.
Yeah.
Fish fry.
That definitely. Definitely. Them the guys I'm looking for, you know.
Crawford was not necessarily trying to disrespect Boots. He was making it clear that earning a title opportunity is very different from simply asking for one. Boots has youth, power, and speed. But Bud brings years of experience and a fight IQ that can completely change the course of a career. Even Crawford's longtime coach, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, does not appear overly concerned about the matchup.
Or do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
well,
win?
You know what? They made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2-3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Train camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge if you want to challenge yourself. Yeah, I don't mind.
Crawford's team understands exactly how valuable he is after conquering 3 weight divisions and defeating Canelo Alvarez. Bud now sits at the very top of boxing. That is why this moment is so important. After years of chasing the biggest names in the sport, Crawford has now become the fighter everyone else wants to catch.
I feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, you know, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, you know, that he's still very much...
Crawford versus Boots would not feel like just another matchup. It could be the fight boxing fans are waiting for right now. The styles make this a fascinating clash. Crawford is all about accuracy and control. He can switch stances, carefully set up his punches, and dictate the pace of a fight. Relies on patience, timing, and elite ring intelligence to gradually break opponents down round after round. There is very little chaos when Crawford fights because he is constantly looking to control the action. Boots brings a completely different approach. With fast movement, relentless pressure, and powerful combinations from either stance, Ennis can make the ring feel much smaller. He pushes the pace, forces his opponent to react, and can quickly turn a technical battle into an intense exchange. T would be controlled precision against non-stop aggression.
Watching now. Terence Crawford, one of my favorites to watch now. I love Terence Crawford, and you know, I like to watch NUA too. NUA can fight. And you know who else I like to watch though? I like to watch Boots.
Oh, okay.
Boots, yeah. I love watching Boots. Boots got game. I love fighting. People don't understand Boots got game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Boots, every now and then he mess on defense a little bit, but Boots got game.
Boots versus Terence Crawford.
Now, Boots hasn't proven himself enough to tell me for me to say that he gonna beat Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford is a different kind of animal. You feel me? Proven stud. You understand where I'm coming from? But Boots, if anybody could be Bud in the future, it would probably be a Boots, because Boots got enough tool to be in it.
And that is exactly what makes this matchup so interesting. T brings 2 completely different boxing styles and approaches together. On one side, you have Crawford's experience, patience, timing, and ring intelligence. On the other, you have Boots Ennis, a young and dangerous contender looking to prove that his generation is ready to take over. These 2 eventually share the ring. It would be more than just a fight between 2 undefeated level talents. It could become a defining moment for boxing's present and future.
Who they are cancels out each other as far as height. You know, they both switch hitters, length, and everything. All of that cancels out each other. So they are literally the same people pretty much. The only difference is Crawford done been in the big stage against big fighters so many times. And also with age, he didn't beat up his body, so his age is actually good. He got the grown man strength. He not just grown man strength, but he built on top of that. Like look at him at 135. He was a little scrawny dude. He wasn't a big dude. Now look at him. He ripped up everything. He's strong. So
Sure.
I feel like he got everything, has all the experience, all the knowledge. So I got to go with Crawford.
For years, boxing fans have complained that the best fighters were not facing each other while they were still in their primes. But Crawford has helped change that narrative. He stopped Errol Spence Jr. when both fighters were still competing at the highest level, and then moved up to 168 pounds to defeat Canelo Alvarez in Canelo's own weight class. That is more than simply adding victories to a record. It has created a new standard for what elite fighters should be willing to do when it comes to chasing greatness.
For the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. Go. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Now, fans are not interested in seeing Crawford face just any opponent. They expect another major challenge. Every fight he takes from this point forward needs to carry real significance. And that is exactly why Boots could be the ideal test. Crawford is 38 years old and may only have 2 or 3 major fights remaining in his career. Before he retires, fans want to see him take on another serious challenge, no easy opponents.
No há necessidade nenhum PC.
Just the toughest names available. That is how Bud built his reputation in the first place. By taking risks, accepting difficult challenges, and chasing greatness while others often chose the safer path.
Hey, Bud always been like that. But I request South. You know what I'm saying? South.
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight 160.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. He looked at excellent.
Is there anybody most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jaron Ennis going to 160, possibly going. Jaron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying, and the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
What would?
That may be the most surprising part of Crawford's story in today's boxing world, where headlines and viral moments often receive more attention than genuine competition. Terence Crawford continues to stand out as one of the fighters who puts real competition first.
Really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bud damn near basically went every round, so
yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
Everywhere you look, boxing seems increasingly overwhelmed by entertainment and massive spectacles. Jake Paul is now set to face Gervonta Davis in an exhibition bout, creating another huge media event around the sport.
You like that YouTube fake boxing stuff, cool. If you're a real boxing fan, who doesn't like that, I feel them on that. But as a boxer, if your heart's not in it, go get your money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you in there and nobody else. So go get your money if your heart's not in it. But if you're fighting for legacy, that's not the way to go. That should be like your last fight. Yeah, the last thing you do. If you're trying to, build a legacy. But I don't think he chases legacy no more. Like, he even said he's not the face of boxing.
Floyd Mayweather is also returning from retirement to face Mike Tyson in another major pay-per-view attraction. Matchups like these can sometimes feel less like traditional boxing contests and more like entertainment shows. Bright lights, massive names, and plenty of attention, but not always much competitive significance.
Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but
Meanwhile, Crawford continues to fight for something that money cannot purchase. Legacy does not need a YouTuber to bring attention to his fights, and he does not need a retirement comeback story to generate headlines. Sells his matchups the traditional way, by proving that he belongs among the very best fighters in the world.
Honest, when I set my sights on doing something, and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me. You know, but for me, I knew I could do it, and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. You know, he wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, you know, I think I was the better man.
Crawford is not interested in chasing simple paydays. He is focused on building a legacy that will last long after his career is over. That is what makes Crawford so different right now. Represents an older idea of boxing, where ability matters more than social media attention, and championships matter more than sponsorship deals or viral moments.
Better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
That is why so many respected fighters from the old school, including Shane Mosley and Roy Jones Jr., have shown support for Crawford. They see him as more than just a winner. They see him as a fighter helping restore credibility to a sport that many believe has become too focused on entertainment. While others continue turning boxing into a massive spectacle, Crawford keeps reminding fans why the sport has always been known as the sweet science. That is also why every decision he makes, and every opponent he chooses, carries more importance than ever.
It's a whole lot of sense, and the fight that stylistically will be, oh my goodness, is a fight between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis.
I don't think I think that's going backwards.
But
for Terence,
to that point, Jaron doesn't have the kind of accolades. He doesn't sell to the mass and all these. So this fight was perfect timing for both these guys.
Right now, both camps are keeping a close eye on each other. There is still no official contract in place, but the growing conversation surrounding Crawford and Boots continues to fuel speculation about a potential showdown. Both sides can agree on the right terms. The fight could become one of the biggest matchups of Crawford's final chapter.
Trying to tell you, 154, man, it's mine. 154 is mine, and they're gonna see, you know, and they're gonna see, and just stay tuned. And like I said, when I handle business October 11th, you're gonna see.
The biggest issue right now is the weight division. Crawford has looked comfortable at 168 pounds, while Boots has been competing at 147 pounds. That creates a significant gap between the two fighters. Many analysts believe a potential matchup could take place around 160 pounds at middleweight, which would open an entirely new chapter for both fighters. That happens, Crawford could potentially have another historic opportunity in front of him. Remains undefeated at 42-0, with no losses and a resume that includes 3 undisputed championships. And if Boots Ennis truly wants the challenge, a showdown between them could become one of the most important fights of Crawford's career, and potentially one of the defining fights of the next generation.
I thought Terence fought a virtuoso fight. Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.